That music was developed out of African work songs.
Obviously, this is the right thing to play, right?
Blues on Saturday, gospel on Sunday. The most hypocritical thing I've ever heard. Going out on Saturday night was the entertainment, you know. It needed to be done to, you know, relieve the stress, if you will, after a hard week's work.
Yeah, I used to walk right there on that road right there to this church right here to Sunday school every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock with my little white shoes on, my white socks on, and come right here and go right through them doors and sit there and be at Sunday school from 9 to 10 every Sunday right here on this here gravel road. Monday morning I get up and go to the field and pick cotton.
Now, I've been in those fields and heard that this was back in the 40s, and that moan singing, it really isn't moan singing. It's some woman who starts humming, and gradually others pick it up, and then the words come.
You can hear one lady over there say, "I'm on the battlefield for my Lord." Then you hear another lady sing by, "Who is it?" Then you see another one over there. I might raise up and say, "It's the Lord, it's the Lord Jesus."
Like, you know, and you keep going. Once it gets over here, and we get a little bit more things, a few Methodist hymns thrown in there, and shift that around, and eventually you're going to come up with that music.
that particular song I was singing, my coming up live was just about that way. We used to go to church in the wagon. We didn't have the top on it, but we went to church in the wagon, see? And when I go to singing that, it just, you know, bring back memory, and I can't hardly control myself, you know.
Well, I think that there is music that are favorable to God and music that are not favorable to God. And believe me, I would rather be a part of the music that are favorable to God.
Glory, glory, hallelujah, says I lay my burden down. Glory, glory, hallelujah, says I lay my burden down, Lord, burden down, says I lay my burden down, Lord, burden down, says I lay my burden down.
The St. John Gospel Singers was the greatest group I think I ever sing with. I just thought it was good, still is. I like it today, in small or large churches.
He was a guitarist, and they would sing. They did a good job of singing. And sometimes they sang different churches and places across the Mississippi Delta, and they were just great farmers.
The good gospel singing, the good preaching we had, all that was important to me then, and it is today. Some people use the word playing music for the devil. No, I wasn't. I was trying to play it for everybody that would listen. And not only that, I thought that was a job like any other job anybody else would get.
Without spending any time at church, there's no fun, because church is about the best place to go. You know, there's no better place than going to church.
Before the end of slavery, they thought Christianity was good. So what they did allowed them to have churches, and they could meet once a month. Then after slavery and prohibition came about, the church as a whole could not, the Baptist churches could not afford to pay a minister full time. So each minister had 4 churches. And most of them either were sharecroppers or small farmers. And on the way to church, they would walk the dusty roads and sing and fellowship en route to church. And then when they arrived at church, there was no musician, most churches didn't even have a piano. So the patting of the feet, the clapping of the hands was the music.
You could work all the week for somebody. You go in the back door, sweep out the front. You were just Mary, you just John, just Jim, just nobody. And you leave that job half paid, don't have a good house to live in, and you got to cut wood to cook your food and all that kind of stuff. You come to church Sunday morning, you're no longer Mary, John, you brother John, you sister Mary, you somebody in the church.
This church in the graveyard is Robert Johnson. It's the feeling. I mean, it's the music, it's the feeling, it's the church, it's the graveyard, it's everything. When you come here, you get a different feel than when you go to church in town. Here, it just got the feeling. You're gonna feel it. You can go to church in the city, you come back, pretty much, nothing move you. But you come out here, you will move. About this music is, you don't own it, you feel it. It goes in the body, and you just can't sit still when that music is playing. You gonna move like ants in your pants. They're gonna make you move, no doubt. Same type music they played back then, we playing it now. It's the identical same music. Lyrics are different, same music.
I wanna see you right now. When all you and then you hold with me. When I'm cold, now how I feel. I know you're trying to kill me. I was down
And I guess a lot of times we got carried away on Saturday night, so we had to go to church in the morning and tell the Lord what we did.
Well, I tell you, it ain't too much different in the blues and gospel. The guitar players, you go to a church and you hear how they be hitting them licks on the guitar, and you say, well, he playing the blues. Ain't too much different.
The music, it helps us through our bad times. We talk about it, we sing about it, and we feel it. And you know, and by coming here on Sunday, it helps us get through the following week. It sort of regas us up for the next week. A lot of times we have bad experience, whatever, you know, money troubles, just troubles, obstacles in the way. And we come here, it sort of helps us see a little bit better, you know, have a vision that a better day ahead of us.
My favorite music on Sunday is Precious Lord, Take My Hand and Lead Me On. It's the feeling of the song, and when you ask God to take your hand and lead me on, then you put in Him first, and it's something about that song that I like.
Precious Lord, take my hand and lead me on to the promised land. My dad was a Baptist preacher. Reverend Perkins was his name.
And this part of the country, good musicians are hard to find. Any church that has a musician, they are blessed to have one.
You really forget you ain't got music sometimes, because it'll make music. Them voices will make music. It's beautiful.
Nobody trying to turn me around, You know my mind is made up, and I got heaven on my mind. It ain't no you, nobody trying to turn me around. No. You pick me up, you turn me around, place my feet on solid ground. It ain't no you, nobody trying to turn me around. No. This morning when I roll, yeah, I ain't have no doubt. This morning when I roll, yeah, I ain't have no doubt. This morning when I roll, yeah, I ain't have no doubt. I ain't have no doubt about the Lord. This morning when I roll, yeah, I ain't have no doubt. This morning when I roll, yeah, I ain't have no doubt. This morning when I roll, yeah, I ain't have no doubt. I ain't have no doubt about the Lord. When I stop and bright sunshine, I ain't have.
We do not have a tombstone that's over 100 years old that's standing now, but there was some before they got in here.
And now, why do we go out to rural churches that don't meet that often or don't have full service?
The church really means a lot to me, because I got grandfather, great-grandfather, my father, and uncles, and cousins, and friends that I was raised up with, you know. I was raised up around here, you know, out in the country.
As you look around, you look at the trees, you look at the cemetery, and you can have a church picnic out here, and although it's hot out here, but where we are now, the wind is blowing under the trees, and it's cool. And you were out in the woods. When you look around, you don't see anything but woods. You're out in the woods, in the country, in the woods.
Jesus loves
all the churches didn't have piano. You could just sit here and just clap your hand, clap your foot, and clap your hand, you know, and just sing like that. Did nobody have piano? You just walk into church, and then everybody would make you come sit down, and you just get together, just the choir gets up. This was your music. Right here, your hand was your music, and your feet too. You just pat your feet, you know, just do it like that. That's what.
Father, I stretch my hand to thee. No other help I know. If thou withdraw thyself from me, oh, whither shall I go? And those are Dr. Watt. Those songs don't have music to support them, but there's a message in them, a very strong message that we have, that we carry to our heritage, that we share with others.
If you don't want to sing, you just need to say,
I mean, you work hard all day. You don't work by no clock, no hour. You work from sun up to sun down. I did it, I know. A lot of inspiration that really saved us during those days. It gave stimulus and gave rise to hope.
You know, one thing I learned about people out, churches out in the country, people love those churches because they said that that's why the spirit at, and the country churches.
The sound that says